Sunday Morning Marketing Podcast is brought to you by Esther of IPA Group, bringing premier online promotion to your business.
And Melanie of Stomp Social Media Training, who empowers business owners to manage social media and marketing for themselves. Welcome back for another episode, guys. Today we're talking about the fear of putting yourself in a box. Now, what sort of box are we talking about here, Melanie?
We're talking about pigeon-shaped and sized ones. And they may even have a hole in the box. Really losing the thread here, aren't I?
Not like the bird pigeon,
No.
Okay.
No.
We're talking more like about a pigeonhole for post.
Yeah. We're talking about being pigeonholed or being classified as being known for or doing one thing, or overly niching, which is what other people refer to it as well.
Yeah. So is too much niching down bad for you?
It really depends on how you do it. Now, let me give you some context first of all. I was doing a group training session, and talking about getting your business out there, letting people know, building up awareness of what you were doing. Okay. And this was a course I was running with the Offaly Local Development Company. And one of the class, a lady called Valerie, whose business is Your Life Matters, just came out of nowhere and said, I'm a little worried about putting myself into a box and feeling pigeonholed, and how that's going to possibly hold my brand and my business back. And I can see that being an issue. I can. But isn't it better to be known for doing something really, really well? Mm-hmm. And, getting people to your website in the first place, then they can learn to understand the other attributes that you offer, the other services, the other products. Mm-hmm. But overly niching and being known for just one thing, I suppose that's where you're looking for an A-list, or you're looking for a very specific audience for your product or your service. It's not a bad thing, but it's a hard thing, I think.
Yeah, it's almost like, writing one book and being known for that one book and fearing ever writing another book because it's not like the first book. We're not just talking genres here and whatever. We're talking about like the whole product in itself being totally different. Even though you're making a product, you're making the same type of product. If you go really off script and really out there, would people turn away from you because of that? Now, I think it's a hard thing to do, because as a business and as a business owner, you have to grow, and your business grows and your business matures, and there are changes that your business goes through. So can you niche down just enough to still be able to grow and change within that niche?
Well, recently we had Finola on. We had a chat with Finola, and I love the way she sort of gave the mindset that you can frame your business one way, but there's absolutely no harm in later updating your knowledge, upskilling, heck, even employing a new member of staff and offering completely different services or products. And I can see how hard it would be to niche. I mean, my husband, for instance, okay, he does market research in the pharmaceutical industry. One of very few people here in the Republic of Ireland that does it. And so it's highly competitive.
Yeah.
But he's also, well up there with, some of the most wildly known European businesses, because he has niched so significantly. So it really depends on how you play it out, how you use that niche. Yeah. But I can see how a new business would find that scary.
Daunting. Yeah, completely. Because when you're so niche down, you limit to a certain extent the people who can be your customers.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean that you couldn't find high-paying customers within that niche. Just another thing that came to mind there that I remembered when you were talking. A couple of years ago, somebody asked me if I knew anybody who did website design. I said, well...
Asked you?
Yeah, asked me, "Oh, do you know anybody who builds websites?" And I said, "Yes, my company." And she says, "Oh, I thought you just did social media." It's like, okay, so obviously I'm not getting the message out there enough. I do web design, but maybe it was also because I personally in the company do more of the social media. So that's what I would talk about. And she hadn't met any of the other team members,
Mm.
and they're not getting out enough to talk about all the other aspects. So it made me have to change my spiel or my speak from what I do and, being passionate about social media and email marketing to what the business does and what we do
Mm.
as a whole, because I felt really like, okay, honestly, how could you have known me for 5 years and not known that we build websites?
That's bonkers.
But she had pigeonholed me into, okay, so she does this, and never thought that I did something else. So strange.
So, how can we help people overcome this fear, do you think?
Well, with every fear, you have to recognize that it's a valid fear. I
Mm.
mean, just by saying, oh, don't be silly, get over it, you'll be all right. It's a very Northern Irish way of dealing with things. But you just have to sort of take one step at a time and go, okay, this is what I don't want, and find ways to avoid it if that's what you want. Or if you do want to be pigeonholed as just that one niche company, the only one on the island of Ireland and the whole of Europe and the world that does such a thing, then own it, run with it, and be the best company doing that one thing.
Yes, Finola.
Did I just regurgitate what she said?
Yeah, you
But
did.
no, in all honesty, just have it that, own the fear, first of all. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to niche down. That's the way I look at it. I mean, you and I haven't fully niched down. Finola thinks we have.
That was so funny, wasn't it?
Well, that was off record. That was,
Yeah.
we didn't record that part. But
I wish we did.
I mean, I suppose we have sort of, because we're doing digital marketing.
Yeah.
But I know we know we're not brain surgeons. We're not doing digital marketing and brain surgery. So in a way, we have niched down, but we're not
Well, not
fully
publicly
niched.
anyway.
If you come at me with a lobotomy, you can go the other way. But people wouldn't come to us and ask for, advice on cryptocurrency, for
Oh
example,
God,
even though
no.
it's a digital thing.
Hmm.
So we have to have niched down to a certain extent. Would we fully niche down? Like, would IPA only do web design? I don't think so, because we'd be bored. Would you only do social media training? I don't think so, because
No.
again,
It would do a
you need the,
disservice to the
yeah.
knowledge that you have. And I agree that it's important that you inventory what you know, because that
Mm-hmm.
can rapidly become something that you can market.
Exactly.
Um, but if you don't know something well enough for now, it doesn't mean it's not something you don't offer later. So
Exactly.
if you can niche right down to doing one service or two
Yeah.
services really, really well, and then announce in a year, 18 months' time, delighted to announce we're now offering a further service to our package, or
Mm-hmm.
new products are coming on board. And,
Yeah.
everybody loves a success story.
Absolutely. But there's also another way, because I've worked with an author before, and she exclusively wrote horror stories and murder mysteries and things like that. And then she went into the, let's just say, more adult
Ew,
industry.
erotica.
Yeah, but went under a different name.
Oh,
So changed her author pen name for this other genre, because she felt like it was obviously going to be a totally different readership. People who read horror stories don't generally, I mean, I'm generalizing, maybe don't go for the more adult material, but she didn't want people to get confused
well, it
by what
depends
she
if they're
did.
sadomasochists or not.
Well, true. But let's say they're not. Um, so it was rebranding. It was doing a full, she's a well-known author to then turn around and go become a nobody under her pen name
Yeah, start again.
and start again. And it was tough. It was really hard going for her,
I bet.
rebuilding and, having people to have to come and find you and look for you and search for you and publish under different names and publish in different places,
Mm.
because it can be hard. So even if you're in the same industry doing the same thing, you may need to have another branch of your business.
Well, that's
You
kind of
know?
what we did, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Because
mean, Monday Morning Marketing is under both
yeah,
your brand and my brand.
and we have our own businesses, and we've niched to talking because, as you say, you've got this knowledge of other things, and I've got knowledge of other things.
Mhm.
But you don't have to be known for doing absolutely everything at once. In fact, I've actually told people to reduce the products and services that they're initially talking about, not to stop doing them, but to stop
Mhm.
talking about them, because the messaging gets a bit too confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you can do too much as well.
Definitely. Definitely. And it's the same as whenever you're starting out with your social media. People go and think, I need to open all platforms and have a presence on all platforms. No, you don't.
You can
No, you
claim
don't.
all platforms, but you don't have to
You
be on
can.
all of them.
Exactly. Exactly. But I mean, that's a chat for another day. That's it for today, guys. We have waffled on long enough to you. If you find this interesting and helpful, do share it with your friends and family. And we
And tell
hope
us. We'd
to.
love to know if you like it as well.
Oh yeah, that would be helpful too. And if you have any questions or anything that you would like us to cover, do get in touch. We do love hearing from you. Our email address is at the bottom of the website. You can find us there, find us on all our socials, find us on all the podcast platforms. And we hope you have a great day and a great week. See you then. Bye bye.
Ta-ta for now.